ladies and gents, this is Linda, Chic777, and today I'm coming at you with a design team project for Discount Paper Crafts. And my, how time flies when you're having fun. You may have guessed it from those words, I have altered another clock. So I'm going to move my sign out of the way. I'll try to hold my camera as steady as possible. I've taken it off of the tripod in order to kind of get up close and personal with this clock. And I really hope you're not getting tired of clocks because I have a few more in the works. I've got like 3 more coming up here in the next short while. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to move my sign out of the way. Or did I say that? Because I'm saying it now. I'm going to move my sign out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to just kind of slowly pan up and kind of get down on my knees and give you a look at the clock. Now the clock itself measures about 12 inches tall, and the wide base at the bottom and wide base at the top are about 7 inches, and then the kind of the middle whole portion of the clock is about 6 inches in width. Okay, and it was, I think it was like an off-white with like flowers painted up the side. I don't know, I had it kind of the base of it texture painted for quite some time that I just can't remember anymore what exact color it was, but I do remember flowers painted up the side, as if it really matters, right? And this clock was originally going to be for a swap, but as I was making it in the last week or so, my husband kind of walked in. I was on the floor with everything gathered around me. He said, "Where are you putting that at?" And I said, "I'm not." And he was like, "What?" And he got kind of upset. He goes, "I really like that clock." And so I decided to keep it. I guess I'm just going to give it to my husband, which is okay. I'm glad he likes something of mine enough that I will keep it. So I am busily right now in the making of altering another clock, but I think she will like this other one just as much. It is stinking cute, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Okay, enough rambling on. Let's get on with the project. All right, so I'm going to move forward. And what I've done is I'm just going to kind of come down here and just kind of pan up. You can see the texture on the clock. What I did to get the original texture is I took white paint and mixed it with sand, and I just textured the whole clock. So that's kind of the base coat of the clock. So I'm going to just kind of slowly pan up for you so you can kind of see it now. Up close. And move around to the sides. You can kind of get a side view over here. No worries, I will get up even closer. Slowly moving. We're going to see the top view a little bit. You can kind of see textures and stuff going on here. I did a lot of texturing of stuff, and I will show that to you here and explain it to you. And coming down the side, this side. Okay, so what I did is I did a lot of different stenciling and stuff. A lot of masking. I did a lot of stamping. I did spraying with Lindy's Stamp Gang. So like I said, the first thing I did is I just sand texture painted the whole clock in white. And then I went through, and let me kind of bring it up in through here. You can see I went with the Prima brick mask that I got from Cathie's store, and I did a Prima brick mask here in kind of a pink shade. And then let me turn this clock around because you can really see here. And then I Prima, there you can really see the brick mask down here. And then you can kind of see it up to the top because you can kind of see the masking, the brick coming out over here. So, and I was just going to originally stop with the brick mask, just a few spots, but it was just naked. It wasn't enough. So then I went in with the Crafter's Workshop, the little 6x6 stencil, the ledger mask, okay, stencil mask, whatever I call them, both, you know, stencils and masks, all the same thing. And I went in with texture paint on that too, with an off-white, and it was really thick, as you can see, so it kind of came out kind of globby. You can't even really see the words on it. Just looks like kind of globs. You can see a little bit here, like almost like it's a cursive writing with kind of a date there. And we'll come around to the side so you can see, really see it in here. See, so you can't really make out the words, but you can kind of tell it might be some kind of writing. But I kind of like that effect. I thought it was kind of cool. And then I went in with another mask, and I'm going to turn the clock around this way. And it was also the Crafters Workshop, and there you can kind of see it. It was the alphabet mask. Can you see like the W, and I think that's like a K? I kind of went around that with also kind of a beige paint. And so that is about the one spot you can really see it. The rest of it kind of basically got covered up. That's usually what happens when we're doing all this stuff. And then what I wanted to do on my clock, since clock faces obviously have numbers, I wanted to kind of have a continual number theme going around the clock. So you'll see a lot of different numbers and things, you know, like in here, and I'll kind of point those out to you in just a second. But I wanted a number stencil, and I didn't have one. So what I did is kind of, you know, made my own. And let me turn this so I can get in there. See how thick that is? It's probably about, what, 1/8 of an inch thick? What I did is I used Tim Holtz chipboard numbers. But what I do, you know, his numbers come in like sheets. You know, I'm going to just pick a size, like 5x7 sheet. I know it's taller than that. And then you pop the numbers out. So then you're left with the negative, right? So that's what I did, is I used the negative part. And then I took a texture paint. I did pink and some white gesso and some sand, and I filled in the negative part of that chipboard sheet, and that's how I got the stencil on this. That's how I got those numbers there, and up here the number 2. And then of course I whitewashed over the top of it. I whitewashed over all the, like the Prima stenciling, all the stenciling I did, because it was a little bit too vivid. I wanted it to be kind of muted. So that's what I did there. And then also I did some stamping. I have from my stash, I have like Bo Bunny. It was like a little chicken wire mask or stamp that, you know, they come out with this couple of new cool stamp sets. So I've got that. And then this is just a wooden script stamp from my stash. And then I used another little like 7 Gypsies, kind of come in here a little bit. You can kind of see a little script stamp in here. And then somewhere, oh, I've got like another little 7 Gypsies stamp down here. You can kind of see it here. So just a bunch of different stamps and texturing, masking, and then I spritzed with like a pink Lindy Stamp Gang just all over. You can see like shots of pink kind of around the clock itself, you know, like right in here, shots of pink and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I did for the base of the clock. So let's move on in to, you know, all the decoration, because that's the pretty stuff, right? So first off, what I want to do is, like I said, I wanted to carry the number theme throughout the clock. So what I did is just sporadically place numbers around the perimeter of the clock. So here I kind of like started with the 0, and then I've got 1 going up to number 2, you know, back down to number 3, and there's number 4, and then you kind of come up to a number 5 up here, and then you have like a bold number 6 here, and you're back down to number 7. You come up to the top for number 8, you know, and then I've got numbers nestled in here. I've got like a Roman numeral number 10 there. There's my 9. Pretend there's an 11, and there's the 12. So anyway, so that's what I did, is I just kind of used the numbers of the clock in, you know, kind of all around the perimeter to kind of bring together the theme of, you know, time, movement of time, okay? So let's start on the bottom. As you can see, I have like a cabinet handle here, and I didn't just want one single cabinet handle sticking outside of the clock because I thought that looked stupid. So, yeah. Really. And so I decided, well, if I've got a cabinet handle here, things look good in 3s. So I went ahead and I added another cabinet handle to the side here. So something was kind of off of this side, like it was off of this side. And then onto the tip top, I used a little Tim Holtz cabinet, like a little knob right here. So there is my cabinet handles in kind of an odd number of 3. Okay? Because, you know, things look good in odd numbers, right? Anyway, so I'm going to bring this in a little bit closer so we can view. So there's my cabinet handle, and I just kind of textured it with white paint and pink paint. I've got some Prima wings kind of sticking out the front here, and then again right like underneath here. Okay, and then I've got some flowers from my stash nestled in here, and a little light bulb, and this is like another little rose from my stash, and some little curly cues. And on the front, I've got some more flowers and such, all kind of nestled on the front of that. Nestled in the flowers in here, I've got like a little Tim Holtz gear, and I've kind of texturized it. I texturized it and then used like Lindy's Stamp Gang for shimmer all over the flowers and everything, and textured, you know, like the buttons and the metal pieces. Everything's textured, of course. So little Tim Holtz gear going on here. And then up top here, I've got another little Tim Holtz gear. And on the front of that, I've got one of those little Finnabar little wing nuts. Those little junkyard findings that I got from Cathie's store. I love these. I love using these like for bows. Like on front of buttons, or, you know, on the front of gears and stuff. I just think it's so cute. Right here, this number 1, this is from Cathie's store. This is the Prima Lyric button collection, the wooden buttons. And then on the front of that, I just tied a little bow out of some string that my cousin gifted to me. I love this cute little string. Anyway, so there's that. Laying on the front of this cabinet handle, I have got a Tim Holtz, you know, metal ornate frame, one of those beautiful frames we all love. And then on the front of that, I've got a little Tim Holtz, one of those little, I don't remember what these are called, but they're the ones with the letters in them. And this is M for Moments. And then I've got, at the top of that, I've got a little bead landing clock hand that's kind of pointing to the clock. Okay. And then hanging from the right side of that metal frame, I've got a few charms here. This is a little lock from my stash. This is from the engraver, the Prima engraver metal trinkets, this little key from Cathie's store. And then I've got just this little diamond gem here kind of hanging on top of that. Okay. Now behind all this that you could just barely see the outline of it from Cathie's store are those Prima metal clocks. And let me grab them, those skeleton clocks. Let me grab it in case you haven't seen it. They come in 2 different sizes, 2 different packages. This is one of them. I love these skeleton clocks, these Prima skeleton clocks. Yes, and they are in stock at Cathie's store. And I think I used this size right here. Okay, and then over the top of that is another product that I got from Cathie's store. And I hate to say, I think she sold out of these. These are the new Tim Holtz Ideology line, the buckles. I love these. Let me show it. I got it right here. It comes like this, the little Tim Holtz buckles. See, they actually look like little buckles. I pulled one out of the package here, so let me show you. Aren't these stinking cute? Everything moves. I mean, even, you know, look, the little thing moves and that moves. It all is, this part even moves, actually, believe it or not. There we go, see? Even that little thing moves. So I just love it. I just think it's so cute, and I love to hang stuff from it, of course. So what I did is I glued this part like that right to the front of the clock there. And then I didn't want the little latch or anything like that to move because I was going to be hanging stuff from it. So I glued that down as well. And then I just textured it. You can see how I textured stuff in here. And hanging from that little belt buckle, I just think that adds such great dimension, just great architecture in there. I added a little Artie Cake charm that says live. And then from that, I've hung like a trio of chain right here on one jump ring from the belt buckle. A trio of chain, and I draped it, and it goes all the way up to the left side to that cabinet handle that I've got over here on the left. Okay? So there's that. And then down at the very bottom, because I try to put it on all my projects, just kind of my little signature thing, is I've got a little Prima wood icon, little X and O. They're Prima wood icons from Cathie's store, and I've got that right here. And I didn't really change the color. I just shimmered them with a clear shimmer and then just added some texture paint. Now, I want a little help here. Somebody please tell me. I'm playing dumb here because I don't know. These are the little X's and O's, okay? Love them. What are the V's for? Does the V's mean like love, like hugs, kisses, and love? I mean, I even Googled it and I could not find out what the V's are for. So somebody please comment below and tell me what a dummy I am. Hello, Linda, the V's stand for, and tell me, am I right? Does it stand for love? Because that's all I can come up with. Anywho, so anyway, those are, like I said, are from Cathie's store. So let's move over. I'm going to move this around. Let's move over to this left side. You can see a lot of the texture and stuff underneath the handle. This cabinet handle I got from our local Habitat for Humanity resale store, and it actually had this little latch that came out here, and I just kind of pulled that off, and I added a little Tim Holtz clock key here because I just thought that was cute. You know, like you got to wind up the clock, of course. I love to do that on my clocks. I add a little clock key if if it looks cute, of course. And then from that ensemble where the chain comes up, it's hooked to that clock key. I've hung 3 more things. I've hung another new product from Tim Holtz, Ideology, and these are the collage keys, and these are in Cathie's store. They are in stock. Excuse me. Now, these collage keys come with little collage stickers and the little epoxy stickers. Now, obviously, this is not one of the little stickers that come with the keys because they didn't really match. Because what I did is I used, did I say it already? I pulled out the Prima Tea Time paper, and the stickers weren't really the right color. So I just took a cute little section of tea time paper and I traced it to the little epoxy sticker, and then I glued that inside and then placed the little epoxy sticker on the top. But you can see how big these keys are. I mean, they're just great. And I've got them sitting over here to the side. Here are the keys. And you can see the images. They are just, I mean, they're Tim Holtz images to the core. Love them. But, of course, they didn't match. But, if you don't maybe necessarily like his images, but you love the keys, you can do just exactly what I did, is make your own little piece inside of that. Okay? So, Tim Holtz key. And then over the top of that, which these were from Cathie's store, but they're not in there in stock anymore. Romance novel collections, hard to find now. It's the metal trinkets from that line. And then on top of that is a little metal number 5. And these are from my favorite metal collection ever, which is the Bead Landing Industrial Chic line. I love that collection of metals. Okay? So let's go on over just kind of to the front of the clock for a minute, and let's take a peek inside here. And so, as I said, I used the Prima Tea Time paper. Okay. And then I did some texturing with the texture paint in there. I used the ledger mask and some gesso this time in there to create some texture going on. You can see me moving, hee-hee, to create some texture inside that. And then I used my little chicken wire stamp and another little stamp in there. And then inside the clock, I used the little Roman numerals, the Prima Roman numerals. Love them, the vintage trinkets. Cathie does carry those in her store. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to grab it so I can show you. So my camera's getting all wompy here. Anyway, here is the metal trinkets. This is the large size. They come in mini and large. Love these. A nice, nice metal. So that's what I used in here. I used some of the minis, and then up top, I didn't have enough to make the number 12. So what I did, there we go. I couldn't see very well. Sorry, guys. So what I did is I used 2 of the large numbers, the 10 and the 1, and then a mini number 1 to make the number 12 for the Roman numerals. But I just thought that added, nice little texture there too. So that was kind of cool. I like to kind of mix them up a little bit. So I'm glad that I didn't have all the same size. Anyway, so, and then down at the bottom for this number 6, this is also from Cathie's store. And these are the Tim Holtz. It's his numeric collection. And let me show you these. Love these. I need to go back and get the alphabets. Cathie carries the alphabets and the numeric collection. It's coming in, as you can see in the reflection there. Look how stinking huge these letters are. I love them. Look at that. It's huge. It's almost about as tall. Yeah, it's 12 inches tall. It's as tall as the clock. Love these. They're plastic and they've got a sticker backing. And like I said, she's got the alphabet in there, which I'm sure they all look, you know, you'll get, and it's a lot of letters, so I'm sure they're quite a bit tinier than these big numbers, but tons and tons of letters on the alphabet one. So that's where that comes from, that 6, and then I just textured it up a little bit. And then on the inside, between the glass and the clock itself, there's about an inch width of space in there, so I just added a few little flowers in there. Add a little Tim Holtz gear, another little Roman numeral from the Prima line from Cathie's store, and then a little locket, little heart-shaped locket from my stash. Okay, so there's the inside of the clock. So that's kind of fun. And did I mention, I can't remember, I've done this video a couple of times because I was so shaky, but I did sew like around the edges, around the perimeter of the clock here, just to add a little bit, because I didn't really texture it because it pretty much goes right up to the edge there. So I at least did some sewing to add a little bit more texture in there, like it didn't have enough already. Anyway, and so now I'm going to just kind of raise up to the tip top here, show you what we got going on top. Again, my ledger mask up here, some stamping going on, and then we've got this little ensemble up here. Now what I've got is some more flowers from my stash nestled in here, another couple of little coils from my little flowers going on there, another little coil here. Right here is another wooden button from the Lyric collection, another little bow tied on top of that. And then nestled in the flowers, again, I have some of the Prima Roman numerals. I've got to get more of those and more of the clocks, I'll tell you that, because I use those things up like crazy. And then, like I said, I've got a little Tim Holtz knob here, little glass knob I textured on. Right in here, this one is from, this little flower is from the Prima Divine collection, and this big, yummy flower is from the Prima Lyric collection, and it already has... It's the large roses. You can see glitter on it. It comes like that. It has the glitter already on it. And it's not a lot. It's not obscene, so I don't mind the glitter being on there. And then kind of nestled right back in here is a little Tim Holtz gear. And then nestled again in between some of the flowers, this is another industrial chic metal trinket. And I love how it says metal shop on it. And it's got some metal or some numbers on there. And then hanging off of the edge is this teeny, tiny, tiny little 7 Gypsies key. I know, right? It's so stinking tiny and cute. But anyway, so there's that just kind of hanging off the edge. So there's the top again. Anyway, so I'm just going to kind of slowly pan down so you can kind of see the clock again as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this. I've enjoyed showing it to you. Now remember, the links will be down below to Cathie's shop and to my blog if you want to see closer up pictures and in direct links to the products that she does have available in her store. And I really appreciate you guys sharing your time with me. And I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.